Ohayo gozaimasu. And welcome. Today, we will be doing some modeling. It's been a long time, and I have improved quite a bit actually since my last little series, which I never finished. I'll finish a series someday, I promise. It should be this time, but who knows? Really quick, so what we are going to be doing is we are going to be creating Kaguya Shinomiya or something. I forgot her last name. But yeah, we're making Kaguya from Kaguya-sama, Love is War. And yeah, I made this model, I think like 2 years ago or something. And she turned out okay. She turned out fine. I was pretty new to modeling. I think I was only doing it for like around a year then. So, I was fairly proud of her, but it wasn't enough to really, go back to and look at in awe or anything. So I kind of moved on as soon as I finished making her. And I was wanting to get back into modeling. Haven't modeled in I haven't made a model in like 3 or 4 months, just because of life. I graduated my university, my engineering degree, and I'm looking for jobs and such. But I decided I would take a break from that a bit and just start another series. I just want to model and I just want to kind of chillax. No rush. I'm not on break for school or anything. And I just want to enjoy some modeling because I think I kind of took the joy out of it for myself in the last year or so, which is why I haven't done it or made videos in a while. So we'll see how it goes. And yeah. All right. So first thing I'm going to do here is I'll activate. Where is it? Screencast keys for you. So now you can see my hit keys and whatever. So that's good. My key bindings are slightly different. I'll try to explain if I do, but yeah. Anyways, so that's that. Just trying to think of any prep work I'd generally like to do. What I did do is I got some images. Especially when you're beginning working from an existing character that you like or something is always good. Generally, it's not good to do the one you like the most. Like if you have some like waifu or whatever, I wouldn't recommend doing her first just because, if it's one of your earlier models, it's not going to turn out the way you want it to. It's a process. You shouldn't expect whenever you make something to be the best it totally can be initially, right? You want to kind of just make a model. It doesn't matter how bad it is, just make one and finish one, go through the process. And then once you get through that process, now you have a benchmark, right? So it's kind of like when you're tasting things, especially in like wine or coffee tasting and stuff, right? You always have multiple things and you always taste them and you compare them to the previous one. But if you taste one on its own, it doesn't do much good because what are you comparing it to? You're just trying to like conjure up something in your mind. So same way with modeling, you have to make at least one model and then from there, then start judging yourself on how good you are. Because then you can judge yourself from your previous models. So that's what I like to do. Always look at improving, not necessarily getting everything perfect, or else you're not going to have a fun time. Anyways, yeah, so I have a folder here. You cannot see it, but I'll drag in some images of Kaguya. Luckily enough, this anime, I was able to get the kind of some reference sheets that seem like they're from the original kind of thing. So that's good. Let me find them and drag them in right now. Kaguya. Okay. So first, I'm going to go into front view, turn on orthographic. I want to delete the camera and the light because we don't really need that. Just simple one cube in the scene. And I'm going to drag in the first image that we're going to want. I'm actually going to drag in two images. I want to drag in this image, which is a kind of standardized sheet that I found for her. Just on Google Images. And then I'm also going to use this one, which is a little more anime accurate. And then there are some for her head. So there's this, and I also found this. And you have some other ones as reference. I'm going to hold off on putting them in right now. 4 is plenty. And yeah. So first thing I'm going to do, also, well, not first thing, but next thing I'm going to do is make a collection, call it ref. And I'm going to put all these images into that collection. So now I just don't need to worry about them. They're there and it's all good. So if we compare these to each other, They seem to be pretty close together. I noticed that the face looks a little different. I can't tell if it's just the way like the colors are and stuff. It looks pretty similar. So I don't think we need to worry about the indiscrepancies between the two. They seem to be pretty accurate. So that's nice. We'll leave this one. We'll use this one for now, or yeah, we'll use this one for now. It's fine. So we'll put this one over here. We don't have to worry about the head yet. So put those over here for now. And we are going to drag this over. We are going to basically line this up. So 1 cube in Blender is 2 meters, if I believe. The size doesn't technically matter, but might as well get it close. So 2 meters. So she's standing on the line there. Right now she's 3 meters. Let's make her about, I don't know her real height. Let's make her about 1.5, 1.6 meters-ish, somewhere around there. You know, just roughly what you would want for a anime character in high school. Okay. So we have that, which is great. Oh, wait, 10 centimeters. What's 10 centimeters? Here, let's get our measuring tool. So measure. Yeah, so that's, yeah, so right there, that's about 1.5, a little more. Yeah, 1.6, something like that. It's fine. All right. So we have this first image here. Scales cube in because we're going to use it in a second. I'm going to Shift D to duplicate it, rotate it 180 on the Z axis. Wait, no, sorry, 90 degrees on the Z axis. Go to side view, scale it -1 on the Y or Y axis. Yeah. So now she's facing forward. So there we go. Something like that. It's nice. We don't really care about the back yet. We just want something rough. We'll put this over here as well, just in case we want it. Put these over. And it's nice to have these in our own collection, because now we can just go boop and hide them all. Very useful. Okay, so let's start making a body, I guess. This is always the easy, fun part to do, you know? To line up her, oh, I didn't mean to do I hit it. Line up with the middle approximately. Something else we can do with the images is go to settings with them selected and do back for depth. So it'll always appear behind other solid objects in the scene. So, okay, we're going to go edit mode on the cube, and we're just going to start scaling and moving it around. I'm scaling on the X and Y or X and Z axes, but not the Y. Basically, right now we can only see 2 dimensions. It's kind of 2D. We're looking at it flat. And then we'll adjust the other dimension, which is the Y dimension in a minute. So she's pretty thin. I think her butt's around here. Her crotch is going to be around here, I think. Right about there-ish. Looks pretty good. Sorry if it's a little hard to see. I know it's white, which kind of sucks. We're going to actually delete this half of the cube already. Add a mirror modifier to it. Make sure it's on clipping, which basically means that you can't pull it off of the middle if it touches, and that should be pretty good. We'll adjust this later, but it should be about right. We're going to do a little V to represent where the legs kind of connect into the body. Add the waist right here. Then we have the beginning of the middle of the torso, and then extrude up one more time for the top. Awesome. Look at that. So now we're going to go hit 3 numpad side view and do the same thing. So we're going to scooch it. And all I'm doing right now is just moving it along horizontally on the y-axis because we know the other 2 axes are good. So her butt's going to be there. Something like that-ish. Yeah, there we go. Okay. And we're working low poly, just blocking it out to make sure it's good. So now leaving orthographic, this is what we have. Pretty decent. Now it's a little blocky. So what we're going to do is select the kind of the edges here and bevel them with Control B, holding Alt to select the entire kind of edge going up Yeah, so if you alt click, right click or left click or whatever select is for you, you'll select that. So shift alt other and then control B, just a little bit. And then I'm going to kind of smooth out the rest that I did. And do I want another edge in the middle here? Not yet. So I'm just going to do double G to slide the vertex along the edges to kind of transition it outwards. And that's a little smoother. That looks nice. So let's go to front view again. And let's smooth it some more. So we're going to take the waist here. We're going to bevel with 3, I think. I'm going to again move these down just to kind of help transition. Kind of trying to think about the anatomy a little bit when I'm placing them, just to help, because her ribs are going to be right about here. So actually I can move those up. And yep. A lot of this is natural for me, and I don't really know how to explain all of it, but yeah, just I like to keep these distributed pretty evenly. If you notice, kind of like roughly all the faces are kind of similar in size. It's hard to do it when super low poly, but I at least try to do it a bit, you know, get in there, do stuff. Okay. I'm gonna add another edge up here. Just one. Yeah. I want to smooth it, vertex smooth, and pull it out a bit again. Scale it along the Y and X. There we go. That's pretty good. I'm not great with anatomy. I still struggle with it a lot, even nowadays. Even though I've been doing this for like almost 3 years now, over 2, I think. But you know, it's an ongoing struggle. But you slowly kind of pick up at least things over time. So this model's not going to be perfect with the anatomy, of course, but it'll be close. It's anime, so you can kind of unaccentuate or accentuate things as you want. So okay. Now that it's looking pretty good, how's side looking? Still pretty good, I think. To pull this out a bit. We don't always have to follow the sheet exactly either. You can kind of just, you know, go with your own thing if you want. If you have an idea already, then do it, you know. Kind of, again, it's up to you what you want to do with some of these things. Looks roughly correct. Again, I'm not actually pulling it back all the way because if you look, her chest is kind of twisted. So you got to kind of interpret what it would look like if it was directly facing sideways. So just got to get used to it. That's why it's nice to have a model sheet that's super accurate and very, you know, very front and very side and not kind of twisted around. But you work with what you get, and that's all you can really do. So, all right. This looks pretty good, I think. Hold on a second. Okay, we're back. Just had to check the recording to make sure it's okay. Sorry my voice is a little muffly. I don't know if I like slur words together, if I don't pronounce them correctly, but it's hard for me to kind of speak clearly, especially through a microphone. So it could just be my audio settings. I think it's a little bassy. I don't know how to fix that, but I'll figure it out. I'll try to, so you guys can hear me better. Because I know I'm kind of monotone and sleepy blah sounding, so I apologize. Okay, so we have this going well. I guess we'll start making the lower hip and leg area. So to do this, we're going to add another loop on both sides right next to the middle. And these are going, we're going to slide the bottom parts of these closer. And then the middle we're going to scale in. So this is going to be roughly how our legs are going to be. Wait, no, sorry. We want these to be closer. Then these, we hit J to cut an edge between them. Delete that face. That's going to be our leg hole. It's really low poly, but don't worry, we'll fix it. I think we're gonna add an edge here, double G slide, and double G slide. If it starts getting really, you know, kind of like crazy, it's okay. We'll smooth it and fix it later. Loop tools, I think it's a default Blender plugin. You just gotta activate it. If it's not, under your add-ons, you can select an edge like a loop and then just do circle and it'll force it into a perfect circle. Wonderful. I love that tool. Very nice. So this is going to be our nether region here. Looks fine for now. Go into front, and now that it's a circle, if we extrude straight down, we know it'll be okay. If you scale to 0, it'll just make it nothing. But if you scale on one axis, like scale Z, and then I hit 0, it'll flatten it. That'll make it a circle again. She's got pretty thin legs, so I'm not going to follow her proportions exactly. I'll probably give her slightly larger hips and such. So her legs might be a little larger as well, but something like this will be nice. Yeah, there we go. And also her hips are, her legs are crossed, but we can roughly interpret what her legs should be. She has really long legs, actually. Wow. I just realized how tall she is. So it's up. So let's pull this over. See how this compares. So body seems pretty good. Legs. We'll follow roughly what it should be. She has no leg, pretty much. It's funny. I'm just trying to think about, like, you know, I'm just trying to match a leg shape right now. It's hard, but I think good enough. Okay. So something like this for now. We'll hide this again. Give her a little bit of leg on the inside. There we go. That seems better. Okay. So now that we've done that. Again, it doesn't need to be perfect, just close enough. If we look at the leg, it doesn't look proportional. So if we go from here, is that where her crotch would be? It's so hard. I think her butt is right here. I guess we could pull the torso slightly down more. So if we wanted to do that, a good way to do that is go to proportional editing, go to projected, go to linear. Then if you hit G, anything you move, it'll kind of move in that circle with your mouse wheel. So we're just going to do this and pull it slightly down. So if her butt's here, then like that. Again, we can fix it later if we really need to, but okay. I'm just going to adjust this while I'm here. Okay. So we have this. Let's go to the side and do the same thing with the leg on the side. Side legs are hard. We don't have a good idea of it anyways. Actually, the legs, to our proportion editing again, we can make the knee more central by doing that tone back the leg slightly. There we go. Okay. Good enough. And so, yeah, side, if I remember correctly, we don't have a butt for her yet, so it's a little slightly tedious. We want the leg, oh, right here. So like the one leg's kind of straight, so we can see how that would roughly want to match up. Also, if we unhide the other image, we can see, yeah, so her legs are longer in this reference sheet, but we're not going to follow that. So that's why the knees were down lower than they should have been earlier. We can need our edge here to help. Yeah. It's good enough for now. Again, we can fix it more later. Doesn't need to be perfect. The best, something that just really helps is just, if you're having trouble, if you're sitting on one thing too long, just move on. It's such a good thing to do because it just keeps you from wasting a bunch of time, basically. Okay, and now it might be a good time to start adding subdivision surface. We'll add another, well, first, we can start fixing this up a bit. And we're gonna add another loop here by beveling. Okay. So something that'll help with the leg here, I think, is if we basically, I don't know how to explain, do this. So this will help transition the body a little better to the middle. But looks like we're having a hard time still doing it. I kind of want to add our edge like this here. Might. Okay, so we'll move on for now. That's not exactly what I want, but again, it's kind of hard in low poly to do that, so I'm just gonna go with it for now. We'll do a little bit of the butt. So I think what we'll do is select basically these here. I for inset and pull them in. But this is not going to be there because what we're going to do here is actually help support this. Gotta think about it a little bit. Do all that math in your head. Not exactly what I want, but we'll go with it for now. Okay. Now we're going to go to connected only. Connected means that it won't project through everything. It'll just do like the vertices are connected to what you have selected. I think we can do something here that's better. I think what we'll do is merge, center, delete, maybe. Like that. Sure. Feel like that's slightly better. Awesome. Yes. So that kind of looks like a butt. Kind of getting there. Good enough for now. Again, you just want to like kind of round out because it's a butt and it's not square, it's round. Okay. We have that. Let's do some shoulders. Surface shoulders. I think we'll remove this and circle. Oh, hold on. There we go. Circle that. So shoulder holes are pretty small, actually. I always make them a little too big. So we'll try not to do that this time around. Our shoulders are about here. So let's fix this top part up here, actually. Fill, top. And then move it up like that. There we go. That's a little better. Move this down. Again, even out. Just, it's nice to have it all smooth. Somewhat. Okay. Now, what we shall do is circle that again since it got messed up slightly. Usually shoulders sit much closer to the back than the front, so we'll do that. That seems about correct. And we will duplicate. Rotate. Actually, what we'll do is flatten it here and circle just to make sure it's even with our view. And then we're just gonna find where the arm wants to start and then go out. So right there, it's about good. And what we're gonna do is put our 3D cursor and rotate from our 3D cursor. So that's about the arm length we want. Go back to median. Cool. That's going to be the shoulder, or sorry, shoulder, elbow, yes. And then here, so shoulders are always hard. It's important to get them decent because it'll help with your weight painting and such. So now we don't want this to be a circle. We want it to be more of an oval. Move the arm around a bit. So I think what we want to do is a little bit of a transition here. So we know we can just hook this up to that. But we're going to have this be that, I think. Wait, no. What are we going to have this be? Usually this wraps around a bit. So we'll do something like this. There we go. And then we can do that maybe. A lot of this is topology. I think I'm okay with having a triangle here. Should be fine. Triangles, want to avoid them if you can, but honestly, they're totally okay if you want to use them. Just gotta be, gotta use them intentionally. As long as it's intentional and, you know what it's for and why it's okay, then go for it. That's what I think, at least. The whole triangle argument is overrated, but I'm no professional. Okay, now for the head hole, I guess. Head hole. Then just smooth these out to match roughly. Back's gonna go in a little bit. Not so much this part, the nape or whatever you call it. I hope that's correct. There we go. And then that's gonna be a neck. Trust me. There we go. Okay, so that is the start of our body. This arm is very thin, I think. Looks so thin. We're gonna go to face mode and just Alt S to slightly make it larger. That looks better. Okay. So now that we've done all the hard work of actually basically, making it low poly and all, we can actually do some fun stuff and like add a subdivision surface to it. Honestly, you don't need to. You can keep working in low poly if you want. But this is where it gets kind of fun. So I'm going to do that and see what happens. It'll look kind of funny at first, but that's okay because we'll fix it. So initially we got this. So let's pull this back out. Again, we can use our reference to help match up again. Not too bad. Um, Again, arms just look tiny. We'll meet them up a bit. Get some meat on those bones. Alt S. That looks too much now. Something like that should be good. You can always adjust it later. Okay. So yeah, so the thing about subdivision is that sometimes you have to add more loops to make it work properly. But for now, we're okay. Okay. So now you see the butt kind of looks a little better now as well, since we went out of the way to do that the way we did. Side view of the butt. Actually, the stomach looks a little funny because we don't have that definition. We're gonna split this. We're gonna pull these down and back. Oh no, we're not. I'm gonna pull these forward a bit. Help accentuate those ribs. Okay. Yeah, it's already looking pretty good. So something else is that there needs to be a little of a, like a bump here for the kind of the hip bone on the side. Well, again, we can add more geometry later. You just want to work with as little as possible first, just so you can get used to it. Okay. Um, for the stomach, generally like this gets pulled in. Having an edge helps, but it's a little funky right now. I think we might want to add some more geometry somewhere. So something like that wraps in towards the middle. So to do that, we want to take this, cut there, and then cut. Well, and that could be one there even. We split this up. That's a last. Yeah, there we go. That's a quad right there. Excellent. Okay, so sorry I'm quiet. I'm just trying to think about what's best here. Usually his stomach kind of pulls in near the middle. So I'll do that a bit. So the belly button should be right about here. Yeah. So I think something else that's not helping is the legs. So we want to pull them forward. Legs are a little big now. Pull them in. There we go. Slightly better. I guess the entire chest should just come a little forward. That's what it seems like. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I want to select the arm and then go to wireframe, select this upper body area. I'm going to just GX or GY, sorry, and just slide everything a bit forward. GY slide. There we go. Matches a bit better. So that's what we have for our first episode. I'm going to save her as Kaguya Ep 1. So I just realized we never saved either. Luckily we have autosave. Kaguya 1 and save. So yeah, there we go. I really want to actually go through and finish this model. I think I will. I'll just take my time going through it. So if there's something you want me to do different or talk, like whatever, I'm trying to figure out what I want to do for this. So please tell me how I can improve in my commentary and showing what to do and all that. So yeah, thank you for watching if you got this far. Tell me what you want to see, or if you want me to explain something specific as well, because I can do that. So anyways, I'll catch you next time. This is what we got. See you around.